It has been said that a noun is the name of a person, an animal, a thing, a place, or an idea. So usually when something is well known, such as an experience, an activity, a place, or a person, and for whatever reason that didn't leave a good impression, caution becomes the watchword. Most people say, well, I've been there before, so I'm a little bit skeptical. Some say it didn't go well when I tried, so maybe not again. Some even stereotype and say that group, that place, that experience will always disappoint. So for that reason, they do not try, they tend to avoid, or better still, they become cautious. And all of this is just because it was a familiar encounter. No one has the experience. It's all our first time here on earth, so keep in mind that yays, lovers, and glasses of wine, these are the things that should never be counted. Hey you, I'm your host, Viva, a girl who's stuck with fiction and fantasy. Welcome, this is You Could Pod, where there's only possibilities of anything you could reckon. Be chill, do your thing, while listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. And don't forget to subscribe and leave your notification buttons on, because that way I owe you everything. One that I believe that everybody has experienced. Why? Because there's always this familiar thing, it is always a place that you've been before. Just like the saying that goes, there's always a first time. There's still also a place that you're familiar with, a name that you're familiar with, an activity that you're familiar with, an experience that you're familiar with, something that you've experienced before, something that it goes well or it doesn't go well. That spot that has that place, that has that vibe, that has that good thing that you're so bold to recommend. Yes, there's so many things. Maybe that book, maybe that food, maybe that person that you can't stop yapping about. Hey, like me. Well, anyway, hey you, and welcome to another episode of You Could Pod with Moa, your girl, Viva. And on this episode, the topic of this episode is, drumroll please. Of course, you know how to do it with my mouth, right? Familiar caution. Yes, familiar caution. And just like I said, familiar caution. Familiar first. First off, familiar. Okay, by definition, it is known to be something that is well known, well known from a long or close association. Okay, something that you know because you've been there before, or you've always been there, long or close. Someone because you just know. When they say that word, if you know, you know. And the caution by definition is a care to avoid mistakes or danger. So jam these two words together, familiar, caution. Yes, that's the topic of this episode. And this particular one, of course, okay, am I gonna go about saying this is so personal to me? Of course, because every one of it is personal to me. I mean, I'm the one who wrote it and all that. Of course, it's personal to me. But yes, this is one of that is personal to me. I believe we all have that. We all know of that saying that goes, there's always a first time. When someone says, oh, I don't know this. I've not been there. I don't know about this. I've never had this before. I always say, I never hesitate to say, well, there's always a first time. Because sometimes people make it look as if you don't know something or you've not been somewhere, oh, maybe you are from the interior bush. No, honey, It's always the first time, okay? It shouldn't be a thing at all, come on, there's always a first time. But we're not talking about first time experiences. We're talking about familiarity, long and close association. And not just the long and close association. We're not just talking about the familiarity. We are talking, when I say we, it's me and you, right? Just me talking and you over there. You, my special person. You. So, that's it. Familiar caution. Okay? Stop putting an accent to it. Familiar caution. So, this topic actually, a care taken to avoid mistakes from a long or well-known association. Now, first of all, the first thing that always comes to my mind, not just the first thing that always comes to my mind, the first thing that comes to mind initially when I started writing about this episode is, of course, I always have to tell you about my own experience, because I believe in talking about yourself. I know, you have to talk about a trend or something that is popular or something that has happened to someone that everybody knows, something that is a gist in the media or somehow. But me, I am a little bit too personal. I like to talk about personal experiences. And I know that this is definitely going to resonate. So when I was writing this, the first thing that came to my mind, what I was actually thinking about before I thought of this topic was a name of a person, okay? A name of a person, because the thing is, I had this one name. I'm going to use an example. The name of this person is Eba. Eba. Why am I using Eba? Eba because that's what I had. That's the last meal I had. I had this very good oha soup with Eba. Don't even go there. Anyway, so yes, let's say Eba. I had this one-time experience with this person. For example, we're giving an example, right? Right? Okay, called Eba. So this Eba person, hey God, this is plenty, but I'm just gonna try and do my best. So this Eba person, what did this person do? This Eba person was close to me, of course. I mean, how would I know? Familiar, right? Familiar question. This Eba person was close to me. And because this person was close to me, this person got some insight and some, inner Kaku's gist and inner Kaku's doings. If you know, you know. So this person had to release this gist and messages and what they felt, they observed to the other person. And the thing is, we were mutual friends, okay? And this is not because maybe I say something bad and then this person had to take it there. No, I just found out that this person was just literally feeding off everything. Like, every little thing that wasn't even necessary. Like, why does this person have to know? Okay, maybe out of gist, maybe out of, okay, the person could know some of this. But this one don't even make sense. Why are you telling this person? Like, what are you people even talking about that it gets to that point? I don't know if you guys ever think of things like that, but I do. I'd be like, what should I be the talk when me kuna the reason go that far? So this person did this stuff and it didn't hurt me, actually. It didn't hurt me. So I would say it wasn't something that was bad. So I didn't actually learn my lesson, or was it a lesson? Yes, there's always a lesson to be learned. So I didn't actually learn my lesson because it didn't hurt me. It wasn't something that maybe I say that was bad that the person reiterated to the other person. No, it was just like a regular gist. But it was a little bit surprising to me that this person was telling this other person this gists, because I felt like, word to word, dude, chill out. So again, after years don't pass, years gone, this person has gone. And then I met another person with this particular name. And somehow, this person still did the same thing, okay? The same thing. Not exactly the same thing, but this person still had that shady effect of, saying something that was from another form and bringing it to this part. And the thing is, I never learn. I found that I find it hard to learn because, I somehow, when people talk about their bad experiences and say, oh my God, this happened to me, or this is, and they gist about it and they come out and have those experiences to tell people. I wish I can. I wish I can retain such memories. I just realized, not that I realized, I know, and I found out that my brain actually only retains the good information. My brain only retains the good experiences because somehow my brain knows that, this one, not just only is she an overthinker, this person takes things to heart. Sensitivity. Yes, I'm a little bit sensitive. So somehow my brain has taking it as a point of duty, as a point of call to filter out every bad experience I've had. Like it just takes it out. And the only thing I tend to remember, it's not that I don't remember, the other bad things, but I easily forget. I hear people say, oh my God, I cannot forgive what you do. I cannot forgive or this, or I cannot forgive and forget. I find that when it comes to me, I don't know what happened to me in the past. I don't know what trauma I went through that made this happen, or maybe it's just who I am, or maybe it's something I've told myself a million times that it's now become part of my psyche. But somehow my brain always shield me from those bad experiences, from those bad things, from those bad thoughts, from those bad, anything that is not so good, anything that I can't remember, I can't recall at any point in time. I'm smiling, or I have, oh my God, this was good when it happened. My brain just takes it out. And that is why sometimes I can't really remember, neither can I put together some of the bad things that people have done. I do. If I have something bad to say about someone or what they've done to me, it's always a little bit, okay, this is not that serious. Like when someone hears it, they'll be like, but it's cool. Even when I'm saying it again and then listening to myself, I'm like, okay, chill out, girl. It's not that serious, It's not that deep. But yes, exactly. That is it. So that was exactly where I was when I thought of familiar caution. Now, of course, we definitely have a familiarity. There's always this experience that you have, that I have, that we all have, that has happened to us before, that we have decided that we should be cautious about. There's always something that has happened, something that we experience, even something maybe we started ourselves, and then we've decided that, oh my God, I instigated this, okay? Somehow I brought this upon myself. I am not ever going to touch this cable again. I am never ever gonna get shocked again, because if I didn't give in to this was not gonna happen. This has always been my mindset, okay? When sometimes when people say, oh, a shege was sin, I'd be like, don't make it look as if it's your power, okay? Don't make it look as if you knew what you were doing, like you're perfect in this stuff and it was all you. If there was no leverage, if there was no foundation or no ground, if I didn't give you all the time or give you all the space, you were not going to be able to do anything bad. This is my opinion, okay? This is what I think, this is my experience. But when it comes to familiar caution, let's dive into it. A place. I want to talk about familiar caution with places. Now, when it comes to places, I feel like generally, most times in life, and most times with our human experience and everything, people tend to maybe see someone who is now doing well, or who is successful, or who has a life. They tend to want to know about the past. Generally, I do it, you do it, we are guilty of this one. We want to know, what were they like? Okay, what were they like? What are they now? And what do they feel they're going to be? There's always a past, a present, and a future. There's always that 3 factor. There's always that triangular factor, okay? And 3 is my favorite number, okay? Not only is it my favorite number, I was born on the 3rd day. So yes, when it comes to life encounter, life experiences, when it comes to people, when it comes to everything generally, with our endeavors, our hustle, with business, with personal life, with leisure, with fun, with everything, people, when it comes to encounter, people tend to want to know what has been there before to now be able to decide what is now, or what could be attained now. People always want to dig back into the past. And this is where I have this familiar caution when it comes to places. Because, there's always, maybe maybe you don't, but just keep an open mind, okay? There's maybe a place that someone has been, that something happened to them. Now, this might be clearly a bad experience. This might be a place that a person went to, that maybe you went to, or maybe I went to. I just have to generalize to paint a picture, okay? Say maybe you've gone somewhere and worst case scenario, you were robbed, something bad happened there, or maybe you experience a very harsh reality over there, and then you have that caution. You feel like, oh my God, once you remember that place, or once you pass through that place, you be like, speaking of that, I just recalled there was this time some years back, me and a friend of mine, a very close friend of mine, we went for this wedding, my girlfriend's wedding. This was at Camp David at Jerry, Port Harcourt. And as we went for the wedding, we've been at the wedding and all that. We've been having fun. It was time to go. It was fun. This wedding was super fun. Hey, God, there were so many things. There were even a point of Dorime at a wedding. Like, can you imagine? It was so fun. But anyway, at the end of the day, at the end of our day, because we were about leaving, my girlfriend realized that her phone was not there. Like, she was like, oh my God, my phone. She had 2 phones. And then she was like, oh my God, my phone. She can't recall where it was. Was it here? Was it there? She started calling the line and whatsoever. And then it happened to be that, yes, she misplaced it while she was stepping into the venue where the wedding was held, where we were at. So she had to call this line, and someone took the call. Hallelujah. Someone took the call, and this person went, okay, if you want the phone, you have to, come and give me the phone. Come collect the phone, but I am at so place. And while they were talking, it's just us girls. It's me and her, and we're talking. She was already panicking when this was happening. She was panicking, and she was like, oh my God. She was about crying. I was like, babe, there's no need for you to cry, okay? Just calm down and let us call the number, and then we'll know what's up. We'll call the line. The guy is like, hey, when I go pay you people are going to give me money. You have to give me a certain amount of money. I think he called up to like 30K or something. And we're like, I don't understand. How much can be the phone? To retrieve the phone will now be like 30K. Okay, boss, how far? Let's get the phone first. Let's see you first. We don't have up to that amount. There is no way we have up to that amount to just give you right now. But we will definitely give you something. The guy was like, no. Say no, they do like that. I beg. He just went frantic. And all that. This time my girl was like, oh, her phone. I was like, babe, calm down, we can get this. I was like, okay. I took the phone. I was negotiating with the guy, like the negotiator, the original FBI negotiator. I was negotiating with this guy, and then I was like, okay, we're gonna give you a 10K. There is no way on earth we're giving you 30,000 naira because you found the phone. Abi, you collected the phone. Abi, you picked the phone. We don't know how it went. We don't want to like talk about all that, but we're going to appreciate you, and what we're going to give you is 10K. And then he says, okay, that he's not taking that 10K. I was like, boss, this now waiting will go free give you, unless just want to return the phone. And then he was like, okay, no problem. That's he's I think he said he was somewhere, one place like that, I don't know, Diob or something. I was like, that we should come there and collect the phone. I was like, oh God, there is no way I can come to Diob. I don't know where Diob is. I've never been to Diob before, so I can't come looking for you where I don't know. So why don't you come to the same place, the same venue that you got this phone from, and give us the phone, and we'll give you the money. End of story. Is that okay? After much ado, like after so much convincing and all that, this guy decided that he was gonna come. But when he was saying it, he had this voice with him, and while he was talking, there were other people. There was a second voice who was like, trying to cut in to say no, do this. We're literally like having a conversation with more than one person. We knew it was more than one person, and they were all guys. So out of that little bit of fear or whatever, we were at a wedding. So we now had to go to the bouncers in the premises. We're like, okay, boss, please, this is what we're going through right now. A friend of mine just dropped this, her phone. She didn't drop it. Okay, the thing is, we don't know how, we can't actually remember how it happened. But the thing is, someone has the phone, and this person is insisting that we'll have to give them money. Okay, but there are plenty, and it's just us girls, it's just the two of us, so we can't go and meet these guys because we don't know if we'll go there to maybe give them the money and collect the phone, if they are going to maybe you want to do any other stuff. So please, sir, when they come, could you help us, just be there so nothing goes wrong? And then the bouncer was like, is that why you're crying? It's fine, no problem, let them come first. And then we're chill. So these guys, hey God, I can't forget this. This happened February. I think it was February 2022, right? 2022. No, 2023. Oh my God. Just 2024. February 2023. I can't remember, but I know it was in the month of February. So this guys come, and they are calling us like, where are you? I was wearing a yellow dress that day, I said, this fine girl for my party, she wear yellow. I always remember the song anytime I wear yellow. Anyway, so I'm like, I'm outside the premises. I'm outside, I'm on the road. Where are you? They're like, we can't see you. We're like, dude, I am outside, I'm on the road. There is no way you would not see me. I'm standing outside, I'm wearing a yellow dress, you would see me. Come and give me the phone, I will hand you the money. We're like, okay. But the truth is, I cannot lie, let me just be honest, we didn't have up to 10K to give them. The idea was we were going to beg them with 7K. We're like, okay, we'll just beg them with 7K. We don't have that amount. We'll just like give the guys a 7K, tell them thank you, just negotiate with them. Say, I beg you, you don't already come, no, go empty-handed, all this sort of stuff. We're like, okay, let them come first. Let money not be a reason they won't decide not to come. So these guys come, and at the time we already agreed with the bouncers, the security at the wedding premises. We're like, okay, please sir, when they come, we'll have to give you a sign. We don't have to come in and call you because they will know something is up. So we'll just give you a sign, like maybe a wave or something funny that you have to notify and then come out. We're like, okay. So as these guys were coming, oh my God, as the guys came, it escalated so quickly. There was police in the premises, there were cops in the premises too. So when they were saying, because you know how police they be now. For my Nigerian peeps, okay, we know how the police here is always crazy. But if you're hearing from somewhere else, I don't know how it works over there. But I think everyone can generally agree that the cops are a little bit crazy. They're a little bit cuckoo in the head. So that's a general thing. So as these guys come, and then I went to meet with the guy. It happened to be that they were not even far. Like, they weren't far at all. They weren't at the so-called Job. I think they wanted to convince us to come out to the Job, why them would not have to leave. So they were just around the corner making this call and being all tricky and all that. So when they saw me and then saw my friend, we were like, okay, babe, let's go. We now walked down to them, and then we were like, okay, guy, how far? What's up? It was like, okay, this is the phone. Because we've already, given the signs to the bouncers, because we didn't want, and they be guys, we are girls. You never know what happens. And these guys are a little bit on the street. I no guest strength. My girlfriend, we don't have strength, okay? Nothing. There is no arms in our arm. So while we were there, the guys came out. The security at the wedding venue came out. Like, immediately the security came out and they were like, okay, guy, this is and they were like, where the money first? Where the money? We're like, dude, calm down. Let's see the phone to know if the phone is working or something. And then it happens to be that these guys have already, I don't know if they flashed the phone, the way factory resets the phone immediately. So there was nothing in the phone. So we're trying to put it on and all that, and then the security came and they were like, no, collect the phone. And before we could say Jack Robinson, this escalated so quickly. The guys rushed, I think it was my hands or something. Immediately they rushed, come bring the money. They were trying to hold me. I can't recall if it was me or my girlfriend. I tell you, my brain filters trauma and bad things away. I don't know why, but thank you, brain. I think the guy was trying to hold our hands, bring the money, that kind of stuff. The security guys now came. Play. I am not even kidding you. It turned to a whole chaos. The guy is screaming with the police guy, for waiting now, why you go come? It became a whole row. The police was like, you guys are thief, we are arresting you. You're entering the van. I was screaming, no, they are not thieves. We just wanted to collect our phone. I can't forget that day. They were like, you guys are thieves. You stole the phone. I was like, no, they are not thieves. And then the other guy was like, you know, go shut up. I was like, no, they are not thieves. I don't understand. We just want to collect the phone. I think they picked up the phone. They are not thieves. How would they did they rob us or something? Maybe they picked it up and they decided they are not. I was busy screaming, they are not thieves. Then one of the guys was screaming seriously shouting at the police guy because he saw that I was screaming, they no be thief. And all that. And while I was screaming, they're not thief, and already they cry. I was already in a little bit of tears and all that. And then boom, the other guy was like, the police guy, what are you doing? So they're telling you, say they know thief, blah blah blah, this that. Before we could say anything, blood is showing off. They've dragged the boys on their waists, pulled them to the floor. The boys are dragging with the police guys. They are dragging. They don't hit. They don't pick up. I don't know if it was stone or something. I can't really remember this stuff because it's crazy. Oh my God. I wish I have a clear picture. But this was so mad. The guys, you're bleeding. I was screaming, they are not thieves. Please do not arrest them. We want our phone. At the end of the day, okay, the police guy now dragged the phone. And then, give me the phone. You're not giving them any money. We're like, no, we're supposed to. He said, shut up and get out. You're not giving them any money. Are you mad? How person will collect your phone? You will go and give them money. God. They just shut us up immediately. It was so trouble. Thank God, I do not remember this clearly. I'm very sure my friend will remember this because it was crazy. The whole thing, people came out. It was a wedding venue, people were there. I was so embarrassed. I was like, oh my God, did I just cause a scene? Did I create a scene? This is not me. And it was crazy. And I remember that after the wedding, and we had to come out that evening because we just wanted to sit out and chill and, put the pressure away somehow. And this, the driver that was taking us, I think, the e-hailing guy, cab guy that was taking us to our destination, had to go through this same Camp David. And immediately my heart started to beat. I was like, oh my God, babe, you remember this place? The driver was like, what happened? We were like, no. Okay, why you go follow this place? Of all places, why did you choose this route? And that was it. It was a familiar caution. Immediately, it was a caution. We could not even, in my head, I was like, I never want to pass this place again. And every time I always go through that part of town, every time, I'm telling you today, I'm always a little bit cautious. I know that is not going to happen again. What are the odds that could ever repeat itself? But somehow I'm like, oh my God, if this happens, oh boy, I just know. My body knows, my sensory knows, everything about me knows that something happened here. And that is what I mean when I say familiar caution with a particular place. So yes, there's a possibility, not a possibility, definite. It is definite that when a place that someone experienced a particular thing, or maybe even witness a wrong going on, there's a caution that comes with that place. When people say, oh, let's go to this place, or we are going to this place, or you want to know the venue, or maybe your friends or people say, oh, we're going to a particular place, and you ask of this place, and it happens to be the same place that you have had an experience or you witnessed an experience. Something happens to you immediately. Your brain immediately, you take care of to avoid the danger and the mistakes, which is caution. And that caution that immediately runs through you makes you want to be like, no, we're not going there. That place is bad. That place is not a place you should ever be. That place is, what, are you kidding me? And this could also be the same thing when maybe someone had a childhood place, Personally, that's why I say this is a little bit personal for me. When it comes to places, I know that, when it comes to the area, a place, a state actually. In fact, the entire state where I grew up and all that, I just have this particular thing about why do I have to go back there? As much as I know that I do not remember every encounter, but I know that it wasn't so well. And there's this caution, there's this familiar caution I always have. And I feel and I wish and I do my best to make sure that I do not have any reason to ever go through that place anymore. No matter what, worst case scenario, push come to shove, I go there. Gun to the head, I go there. But if not, I do not want to be associated with that. Not because, it's going to happen again or it's going to be repeated, but because, there's this familiarity with the past, with the place. And most people will say, yes, you're from this place, you're not forming that, you're not from that place, you're not acting like you don't want to be associated with that place. And personally, this is why I do not judge. And when people say that, I tend to speak up. I tend to speak up and say, why do you care so much about this person not associating themselves with the place that they were from, or they were at, or a place that they are well known for? Maybe there is a reason. Maybe there's always a reason. Why do I say this? Because I personally do not want to be associated with a particular place that because it's just there. It's just in my head. As much as I know it's in the past or all that, I do not want to be associated. When people talk about places like that, when as much as this is so tiny, I do not ever judge. I mean, like, I am so open-minded all the time, but each time when someone tells me, oh, this is me, or I stay in this place, I'll be like, why do you have to stay in this place? I tend to find out that I am judging a little, okay? I am being a little bit skeptical, or being a bit pessimistic about the whole thing. I'll be like, why are you, oh my God, you are so good, but why are you associated with this place? And I feel like this is the caution that happens most times. It could be just like I said, maybe you witness something and all that, an experience, or maybe a fear. Most people who didn't have such a good childhood growing up, maybe there was a whole lot of traumatic things that happened, or the experience or the witnessed that happened in this particular place or at a particular place, they tend not to want to go there. It could be a house, it could be a hometown, it could be a childhood area, it could be a public place, a relaxation point. I mean, it could be a spot, a bar. Oh my God, I do not. I think when it comes to this particular, I say this is personal because it is personal. When it comes to familiar caution to places, I also have another place that went crazy. I believe this was 2018. Yes, 2018. That I had this crazy. I think there was a fight or something at this bar. Until today, I even happen to stay around. Like, I stay around where I stay now is not so far from that bar. Like, it could be like say 5 or 7 minutes drive down to that place, or walk down to that place. But I never go there. Like, I never ever go there. I like when any time, at any point in time that anybody brings up a talk and be like, oh, this spot, I'll be like, not me, count me out. Okay, so it could be a place, it could be a school, okay, it could be a workplace, it could be a former working place that someone used to work at, that maybe their boss wasn't so good to them, or maybe they had this person, a colleague that they worked with that wasn't so cool. Or maybe it could be, a school that they went to that didn't give them a good experience. I actually have a friend who went to a particular school and finished, but somehow he is not finishing, like, going back to do his own stuff that he's supposed to do himself. I think he had to get people to help him, to pay some dough to help him clarify some stuff because he didn't want to go there. And this is also part of familiar caution. I believe this is something that happens all the time. People tend to judge or be like, oh, you don't want to be associated. You don't want people to know where you're from. You don't want people to know that you are from here because you want to clean up your life, because you want to. But you never know. You never know their reason, their particular reason. You never know their past experience. You never know their past witnessing. Because sometimes it could be something that it didn't actually happen to you, but you witness it happen to someone else. Or you witness this act being carried on. And because of that, you have this familiar caution about this place. And whenever this place comes up as a thing, you be like, I do not want to be associated with that place. So cut people slack when it comes to places. The next part I want to go into is a person, which is the first part I talked about. A person, familiar caution with a person. A name, especially. I think this part is something who I feel like everybody, when it comes to people, relationships and all that, they'll be like, oh my God, I had an ex, I had an ex that it's named Michael, or is named Obi, or is named whatever the name could be. And that person is so this and so that. And whenever someone comes to them and say, hi, my name is this, you'll be like, what? You? Why do you have that name? you are so good, but my ex had that name, or I had a brother who had that name, or my father had that name, or my mother had that name, or a friend had that name, or someone I knew had that name, and it didn't actually go well. So because of that, they are cautious. They feel like, oh my God, there's this stigma, there's this stereotyping that they have generally in their mind when it comes to that name. They be like, people who answer Chioma, people who answer Victoria, fear them. Victoria people, you never know. Vivians, people who are Vivians, but I don't think anyone has ever, had any bad encounter on Vivian. Vivians are like we are the best, okay? Why am I saying it for everybody? But I feel like if you've ever met a Vivian, oh my God, we are honey, we are peaches and cream. If you know that track, okay? If you're a boomer or you're millennial and you know that track, we're peaches and cream, okay? So yes, it happens when people hear a particular name and they relate it to an experience. They hear a name and they remember an interaction. They hear a name, they remember an acquaintance. They hear a name, they remember a relationship. They hear a name, they remember a past, which is just synonymous to the whole thing. And then they be like, oh, this person is so good, but your name is something. Your name is that. Your name is that name of the person who did this to me. So somehow they have the stigma that there's a possibility or probability that this person could do the same thing. Or they don't even give it a chance. They don't even try at all. They be like, I beg, people who answer this are that. Or people who are from here. I mean, there's this general type. I feel like this one is something everybody know. When it comes to the Igbo tribe, they say, people who are from Mbise, the Mbise people, they are this way, they are that way. I think there's this saying, I think by this guy, Warrior, this very popular high life musician. I said, when you see an Mbise person and you see a snake, you should kill the Mbise person. I feel like it was his own experience, okay? But most times, because people repeatedly say it, and this is why I say whatever gets repeated gets remembered, and whatever gets remembered gets repeated, because people familiar caution, it doesn't even end with places and persons, like people and places. No, it still moves down to experience. Now I have one of my own. Like I have a caution, something that I'm familiar with, that I'm very cautious about, and which is clothing, material, outfit, fit, what you're wearing. When it comes to wearing the color white, I love to wear white clothing. I love white. I like it. I just like the color. I like the way it looks on me. I think it looks good, and I think I look good in it. So why not? Anyway, but the thing is, I am so cautious when I put on the color white, because I'm a girl. I wear makeup, and it could easily get stained. And I like to drink wine, and when eating, it could easily get stained, or anything at all. Okay, anything at all. Maybe there could be a kid, that just sees you at the mall and then says hi to you and then decides to touch you first before even talking to you, because kids harass people sometimes. Anyway, yes. So with that particular caution for me is clothing when it comes to materials. And there's another one when it comes to something you wear. I don't actually like blacks. I like the color black when it comes to outfits. I think the color black looks good on so many people. Not everybody, okay? Not everybody. But on so many other persons, there are people who their color pops with other materials and other colors, but black. But the one I just don't like in black is satin black. I don't like the way it pops. It's too dark. It's too bright. No, why? Why does it have to be like that? So I don't like the way, and I feel like it easily gets ripped. I'm a little bit clumsy, and sometimes I'm a bit clumsy and way too playful sometimes. So I don't want to get too excited and then my clothes just rips. So for that, there's a familiar caution when it comes to wardrobe or buying stuff, or even trying to recommend something for someone else. I mean, these things will definitely and generally affect my opinion when it comes to caution for outfits. And then when it comes for shoes, please, okay, only me know that, so let me not just go. There's one other familiar caution, okay, something that is people sometimes, some types of persons and some people in your life or a friend or whatever, no matter the relationship, could actually have a caution for. That is so funny. For me, it's funny. I feel like anybody who has slipped and fallen over a banana peel, anyone who has slipped and fallen over a little pool of water on the tiles that went unseen, totally unseen, and you're just you're wearing nothing, you're barefooted, and then you just slide and you fall. Oh my God, I once fell when I was younger. Oh boy, it's not good. It doesn't feel good. It did not feel good. It's not good. So somehow, when there's a little pool of water on the floor, okay, let me not say pool, it's just like a spill. But the tiles is a very tricky material. I don't know how to call it best. But yes, because of that, someone could fall. So immediately maybe the water spilled. Maybe even you spilled it. But you're just a little bit lazy to pick it up. Okay, don't judge, all right? You're a little bit lazy, and then someone is trying to walk over there, and you just immediately become cautious. Oh, no. There's water on the floor. Be mindful. Be careful, There's water on the floor. You just announce it just because of that instant caution, because you feel like, oh my God, I have been there. And I think that one is a little bit heartfelt and good, because it feels good to know that someone is looking out, right? Every time it feels good. So yes, with that particular familiar caution, it's I could say it in so many ways. Okay, I could say it in so many ways. I feel like when it actually comes to this particular familiar caution, I think the one that takes it for me, works for me so much, the one that makes me giggle or smile while thinking about it, is the present familiar caution. When people are in a relationship and they get so frustrated with whatever happened, and then that name never goes away, and then immediately they just see anyone who bears the same name with whoever they were with. They are just like, oh my God, that's the name of my ex. That's so weird. When people just say that to me, actually, okay, it's cool, okay, it doesn't matter. But sometimes when I hear things like that, I'll be like, oh my God, are you still pained? Get over it, man. And I laugh a little in my head. I mean, it's funny, right? Maybe not, but I don't know. To me, it is. So yes, with that particular caution when it comes to names and people and persons. And also, not to forget, this familiar caution, there's always caution, okay? But there's familiar caution when it comes to food, to meals, right? Because this particular caution is one I feel like I know about, and maybe you definitely also know about it. This is one with food, okay? I have one day gone on an eating spree, okay? I was just eating so many things, so many different things, just because I felt like, why not? Because I could. And at the end of the day, it was a disaster, okay? When people say you got food poisoning or you ate something wrong, and that was it. Until today, I know now that there are foods that hurt my tummy, and I generally just stay away. I avoid, okay? I'm not even trying again to see if it works, unless sometimes when I'm just being a little bit grumpy and I or not, or I just feel like, okay, I know this food hurts my tummy, but let me just try and see if it has stopped hurting my tummy. or something like that. So yes, there's also familiar caution when it comes to food. When you eat that particular meal, when you eat that particular food, maybe that was prepared or made in a certain way, in a particular way. Maybe it is way too spicy. Pepper, it is so hot, or there is just something about the meal that makes you not go there. And then maybe you go to a spot and you're like, oh no, but I don't quite like their food. Or maybe it's a friend of yours who cooks so well, but somehow they have to cook with maybe a little extra salt or a little extra pepper, or maybe it's way too colorful, or maybe there's something way too oily, and you just have that caution when you think of their food. And when you're there, you just have it in your mind. You're like, oh my god, this person's food, this food that displays, this food that this person made, or this food that I make, it might be this way. Yes, you're always cautious about that. So food is also one of familiar caution. Yes, where you've eaten a particular food from a person and you know that, okay, this is not so good. Okay, you're not such a good cook. Okay, or maybe you cook it so well, but why do you have to add so much pepper? Why does it have to be that spicy? Why? Is there a reason? Are we going on a war or something? Are we preparing for something? Why does it have to be so hot? Yes, so when it comes to familiar caution with food, I feel like we all have that experience, both children and adults alike, definitely. Definitely, of course, I am not going to forget when it comes familiar caution when it comes to what we all know today at this time and age, familiar caution with social media. Okay, yes, there are different platforms for people to choose, 100%, and these different platforms decides, not that the particular platform has decided or made rules or whatever, or what you're meant to post there or what you're not meant to post there. But the thing is, there's this general knowledge of when you're using a particular social media platform, what is expected, what is meant to be put there. I mean, like, most people could say, oh, maybe you have a poor profile because it doesn't look the way you ought to look, or maybe you have a very clean or well curated profile because it just speaks out for you. And yes, amongst these social platforms, I am going to list the ones which I am familiar with, and I believe you will be too. There's Instagram, there's Facebook, there's Snapchat, there's TikTok, and there is Telegram, and which other one is there? I believe there's so much, and there is Twitter, now called X. Okay, yes. And when it comes to X particularly, Twitter, it has never been my thing. I mean, me personally, I don't know. Other people, it's a wonderful platform, and I love it for people who use the platform, because, I mean, if not for them, how would I know some of the stuff I know when I go on the platform, right? Yes, so we're grateful for that. But when it comes to using Twitter or using the platform X, I have a caution as to using it. Why? Because, I don't know, maybe it's my own FYP, maybe it's my own algorithm or something. I don't know how that is affected, but each time I do, I always see horrid videos, and just horrible videos of maybe someone being assaulted or something that's just not just right, and it just brings me down. Okay, it just immediately brings me down. There's some part, I don't know if this happens to every other person, but their news, or will I say most of the news that happens right now, when I just see it, when I just hear it, when I just watch it, I'd be like, oh my God, I mean, I just have a broken spirit for the whole of the day. I just feel so bad. And then, yes, it's good to know that, I mean, there are people who are suffering, there are people who have it worse than you, and that way you can learn to be grateful, of course. But then it just gets to me to a particular point. So yes, when it comes to using that particular social media platform, which is Twitter, now called X, I am particularly cautious. I'm just so cautious about it because I feel like, oh my God, if I open this stuff right now, I'm going to see a video, I'm going to see something that is just going to trigger me for the whole day. Do I really want that for myself? No. And there is also with different platforms and different stuff, with different accounts and pages. Yes, did I not go there? There's a familiar caution with different accounts and pages. And this is one that affects people who for kids and adults who let their kids use phones. You have to monitor, you have to use like a parental guidance or something. I wouldn't know about parental guidance when it comes to social media actually, because I have never been able to regulate, never been in a position to be the one to regulate what a child sees on social media, which I think, my opinion is it's just a general bad idea for a child to be there, because there's so many things that just could go wrong just by seeing, just by sight. And yes, the algorithm is going to filter and decide what they see, but still there. Yes, so there's a familiar caution I have with social media, and there's a familiar caution that comes with each of these platforms. Just like I said, each platform decides when you're following a particular account and you just know that this account, this is what they're about. This account, this is like continuously what they are bringing up all the time, and maybe you don't want to. I myself, okay, one of the popular bloggers, most of the popular bloggers, you feel like, okay, this news, why is this a thing with this person? And you have to unfollow. We all have that caution. Because we know that this person or this account or this is not the right account to open when you're in public. Like when you go on Snapchat, I don't know, most people, for you guys, if you guys have any idea when it comes to Snapchat, you just can't watch anybody's story. You don't just open it and you're going through it and you happen to be in public. And now in these days where privacy is not quite a thing. You could be on the phone and then someone behind you is looking into your phone. That is so creepy. Okay, that thing has always creeped me out. And now that I see it on social media, I see when people video other people's screen and post it out there online. I have become extremely cautious about that. Yes, because did it happen to me? No, but it's a familiar caution. Why? Because I've seen it being done to other people. I have seen it happen, so I am cautious about that. Like if I'm on my phone right now and I know someone is behind me, or someone can look over, or so there's a way that a person could look into my phone, I am cautious about it. Okay, I'm looking around, I'm trying to know who the hell you are, because I could not have that happen to me. Okay, there's something called an easy embarrassment, and I stand on that ground, I stand on that business so hard, and I don't know what I would do if it ever happened to me. So the only way to protect, the only way to avoid is to be cautious, and cautious to what? A familiarity is something that is known. Yeah, so yes with Instagram, yes with Facebook. There's this caution that happens when people say, oh, I saw this over the media, and then someone tries to inquire, which of the media did you see this? And then they say, oh, I saw this over Facebook. Most people disregard it. Most people feel like, okay, it's not quite worth something, because they say, oh, please, Facebook, these people are just like content, what's it called? They're just making extra content just to be on the platform because it's been monetized and all that stuff. And even mostly on Instagram and every other platform, people say, oh, believe what you see on social media at your own peril. Yes, 100%. You see, it's a caution, it's a familiar caution. So most people do not even take these things worthy. Or when there is that person, that celebrity, that popular person, that famous person that always talks about something, there's always particular and into every other person's business. And me, I don't know for other people, but once I see that account, I just flip. Okay, I am not even interested. I avoid. And yes, it's my own familiar caution. I believe every other person, you listening, and any other person could have their own familiar caution when it comes to social media, and it comes to the stuff that they want to adopt and the things that they want to take in for themselves. Yes, familiar caution is in so many places. There's so many things that could be there. It could be food, it could be a person, it could be a place, it could be an experience, it could be something that you really want to do, it could be a hobby, okay? It could be a hobby, like, oh yes, I've always wanted to do this, I've always wanted to be involved in this, but I do not want to be known for this. Because of course, because there's so many things to do with platform, there's so many things that you could just get out there just by social media. Thank you to social media and whoever made that possible, and thank God for making human beings who made it possible. Yes, most people will tell you, I do not want to be known for this. I do not want to be involved in this. This is not what I want to be. I do not want to take part in, because they feel like, oh, would this deal with a reputation? Would this have to deal with my integrity? Yes. So there's familiar caution with this. When there's familiar caution, even when it comes to mindset, and that is why most people pick people over the other. They'll say, oh, I'd rather have a proper conversation with this person, and I'd rather just chill with this person. I'd rather just go drinking with this other person. I'd rather just go chill out with this person. Oh, I feel there's a good energy here. I feel like, oh, if there's a problem, there's something going on, if I have a difficulty in this particular field or area, this is the person to call, because yes, they know what's up. And this one, most people, I've even heard a story, a while late story. I heard one time about someone going to ask a friend, an acquaintance, about a particular thing, and then the person he was telling about going to ask the other person about this stuff was like, you can't be going to him. He's not the right person. He doesn't know jack about anything. He doesn't know jack about fuck. He is not the right person to talk to this about. And the other person is like, why would you say that? And then he went on with the story, because I have done that before in so year, at so time, and so place. I told this person about this, I talked to this person about this, because I 100% believed that they had an idea or they knew what's up, but it happened to be that they did not have a clue. They did not just know what they're doing. So immediately he disapproved of the fact that his friend, the acquaintance, had to go asking that person. And it's just a way of familiar caution, okay? There's always something that we know. We know it so much that we avoid it, or we know it so much that we go for it. It may be a sport, it may be an outfit, it may be a food, it may be a place, it may be an idea, it may be an experience, it may be it may be that person that is close to you, a family member, a friend, a place that is so chill, maybe a body of water, or maybe something, a site you like to look at, like to take a walk or something. There is always a familiar caution, something that you know so well that you indulge in it, or something you know so well, or that you decide that you do not want to do. So yes, when it comes to familiar caution, the list is endless. Trust me, it is. And we all have that experience. I do, you do, we all do, somehow, some way. Anyway, so that's it. When it comes to familiar caution, there's been an experience we've experienced before. You've one day maybe fallen on a strand of banana, or fallen over a little spill of water, or someone spanked your butt before, or there's that name that you know that you feel like, oh, you just remember the name, or you hear the name and you be like, oh, that was a great experience. Oh, you mean that asshole, or bitch, or fucker, or MF, or however you like it, okay? This is a safe space. You can cuss all you want here. Or maybe there is a place you don't even want to go anymore, and then people be making it look as if like, oh my God, you're trying to avoid there. Yes, I am, dummy. That's the whole need and the whole use of me not try to go back there, because I'm trying to avoid it. So yes, you should always be cautious, okay? As much as you should be cautious about people you do not know, you should also be cautious about people you know, because that's the two. It's either one person you know or the one person you do not know. Okay, it's one of both, and one of both that is going to deal with you or make you in life. So yes, familiar caution. Oh my God, I could spill a lot on the bucket with this, because it is so much. But yes, familiar caution with a person, familiar caution with a place, familiar caution with an experience, familiar caution with a feeling. Yes, the feeling also, your emotions are very important. Do not neglect that, okay? Chase after that thing that gives you the happiness, the dopamine, like, a little bit of elusive, what's it called? Mystery. Yes, that's what I meant to say. Mystery and all that. That's stuff that just keeps the spark alive. That's just, you can go after it, okay? Okay, just be nice about it and go after it. And who knows? Maybe because it is something you're familiar with, it's definitely gonna work out. Yes, I'm hoping, heels crossed, fingers crossed, that you make it, that I make it, that we all end happy. Yes, I always have a fantasy of happily ever after. Anyway, okay, I'm signing out. It's your girl Viva, a girl who's stuck with fiction and fantasy. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe, like, leave your comments, or come down to the social platforms and follow. It's on Facebook, it's on Instagram. Yes. And then you can join the conversations, enjoy the little, and meet other people, get to interact, okay? It's a platform. Join more conversations and more conversations and more conversations, because the conversation never ends. Got you?